Do you think that it's important? Because I feel like women understand their love languages a lot more than men do. Do you think that it's important for men to kind of seek out and understand, how they need to receive love a lot more?
I do.
Especially as we mature.
But it is. But there's a lot of dudes that just are too tough to ever really be able to get into it.
Facts.
There's a lot of walls that are built up from childhood.
Facts. Big walls
that just
Donald Trump style.
Down. and this kind of segues into men need therapy.
Like a motherfucker.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, I need therapy bad. I've been trying to be my own therapist, but
it's not the same.
It only gets you so far.
And that's what I'm saying. I realize I'm at that point where I definitely it's something I need to invest in, and it's not something that I'm not aware of and that I'm not preparing for. But I got to be blunt. It's just something that I know I need for sure.
I think that it's very important, especially like in the black community, for black men to sit down with other black men and have conversations.
I think we need it the most,
and I think we also need therapy the most. There's so much trauma from when you're growing up. A lot of black men don't have a father figure, so we kind of learn it on our own.
Yep.
A lot of black men haven't received love from their mom or their father. That was a way that was healthy for them to be able to give love. So it's like if you didn't receive it as a kid, now you're out here, seeking that same attention, and you don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. And it's terrible
in terrible ways, and trying to fill voids and all kinds of shit.
And the same with growing up in an abusive household, and you seeing something happen to your mom. The abuse becomes the abuser, at the end of the day. So I think it's very important for us to be honest about how we feel, honest if we aren't having a good day, and I think that as we start to do that, I think we will start to change the dynamic of one, the household, two, how we love each other as black men.
Facts.
And three, how we love the world from there.
I like that. That works.
Absolutely. So Ashton, you've never been to a therapy session, or you have?
I have.
You have?
I have. I went when I was a little bit younger. My mental health issues are documented for those who I'm close to. So I've definitely had therapy. I just had the wrong therapist at the time, and I was able to get a lot more work done just working through things myself and having people to rely on.
Can you speak on that, the wrong therapist thing? Because I think that is what stops a lot of people from I know there's a lot of people that go to therapy once and it doesn't work, so they never go back.
I can't lie, that was me at first. I feel like if you're going to invest in a therapy, you can't go into it thinking that your first time you're just going to instantly feel better and now all of a sudden all your problems are cured. I feel like that's a very ignorant way to go into it. You're still dealing with another person at the end of the day. So finding the right person, that person could be, you could meet somebody who they handle everything right on paper. That just might not be your fucking vibe.
Yeah.
Genuinely, they you might not like the way that they ask questions, and maybe you're willing to try to work with that person to figure that out, and maybe it doesn't work out. I still don't think that means you should give up on trying to go to therapy. I think you might have to try a different therapist. Give it some effort to try to figure out what works, and talk to your therapist, because talk to your therapist like that's the person that you can trust with everything, because I feel like that's your best chance for success. So, and that comes down to, you know what, can I be real about our dynamic here, how this feels for me? I think it's their job to try to help you find somebody that will work for them, and they're not going to leave you on red if you tell them that you might not necessarily be feeling the way that your conversation goes back and forth. So be open about how you feel about it when it comes to stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever been to therapy?
I never went to a professional therapist, so
Hood therapist.
I had a mentor that he had his master's degree was in psychology, and so we sat down and we really had some in-depth conversation about my childhood, and they were very painful conversations, but very necessary for me to heal and grow as a man. And I think that because I've had those conversations with him, it kind of opened the door for me to be able to, I guess, understand, some of the things in my mind that I was going through at the time, and kind of figure out, a plan or a strategy from there. And then the second half of that, he referred me to some really good books, and I started to read and get into more of a reflection. I started to write a lot more, and I think that, the combination of that and, like, if I need to holler at him about anything, just reach out to him, and he just keeps it real. I think that was very important, especially as a young man, not having many avenues or many people to talk to.
It was beautiful, man.
Yeah, it was a great time for me.
Aw.
Great moment.
Nah, you're fortunate enough to have that for real.
No, absolutely. I'm joking.
Zach?
Yes. I have gone through professional therapy without getting into too much detail about. Well, fuck it.
I love that shit. I love that.
It was coming off of a very toxic relationship for me.
Oh, which one, Zach? I'm playing. I wasn't saying that. I just want to see if you talk about toxic shit.
I was coming off of a very toxic relationship for me, and I was messed up in the head. I swear to God, I turned all the notifications off.
Not at all, sir.
I was coming off of a very toxic relationship, and I was lost and a little bit broken,
right.
And I didn't really know how to move forward in my life because I had set so much stuff up with the mindset of this relationship was going to be there no matter what.
Right.
And the therapy taught me one, accountability, two, recognizing what was and what wasn't my fault.
Right. That's important. Like a motherfucker.
Being able to learn from it all.
Right.
Being able to forgive, and being able to grow. So I am 1,000 times a better individual today because of the therapy that I went through then.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I still fuck up from time to time.
Right.
And
we all do.
I fucked
like that
up.
one time with the episode. I'm sorry, man.
We ain't gonna let it go.
I'm playing, bro. I'm playing.
I'm only human.
I know. It's all good.
It's all good.
So it just kind of it taught me to no matter what, it's going to be okay. There's going to be another day.
Yeah.
You're going to get a chance to do over.
Right.
In 99.9% of situations.
Yeah. Facts.
The 0.1 situations, they're a different case, and you got to handle those differently.
Out of your control.
But the rest of it,
you can do. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It took a long time for me to hold on to that. If I'm in a moment of when shit's fucked up, I'm like, bruh, just burn it all down. Fuck it.
it's tough to see through it.
Yeah,
when you're in it.
Yeah, but as you go on, you realize, like, I just gotta tough this shit out.
Yeah,
and if you do, everything clears up.
Absolutely.
But fuck all that sentimental shit.
Well,
Before we segue,
I'm staying in that conversation.
He's got
right
some
at
more.
we're
Go
right
ahead,
at the
bro.
30 mark.
So shit.
Another quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay, bye. Is that a necessity?
Depends on the woman.
Facts. You right.
Because I'm not eating all cat out here. All cat ain't to be consumed.
Yeah, we are live.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
But
That's a rough punch in.
yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly. Let y'all know it's real around here. Even though I was saying get off the sentimental shit, let's stay in that because I'm curious about men. All right, we just had an open conversation just about therapy and shit, right?
Right.
Going forward with that, have you guys ever had any issues when it comes to being open and vulnerable around, like, your guys or just guys in general?
Before I knew Zach, yes.
What changed when you knew Zach? Let's get personal.
Zach is very
Oh, you gonna break that shit up? Out
Open.
You? Yeah, you gonna break that shit up? Out
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you.
and if somebody say get off that soft shit, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, nobody talking to your punk ass.
Yeah.
Just because you got issues.
You're right, nigga. Go to therapy, nigga.
And then I got close to you, and I was like, all right, twofold.
Oh, 1,000%. That's why when we get together, that's an hour-long conversation.
Absolutely. Minimum.
But what you think that's the stigma just with men having to be tough and being vulnerable is considered as weak? Like for you personally? Or were you just playing everything close to the chest because you didn't trust people?
I can rewind it.
Okay.
I think when, as a kid, you reach a certain age, your father stops showing you that affection that he showed you when you were a child.
Hold on,
right?
before you go deeper, why would a man do that? Do you know? Or do you have your own idea of it?
I think it's like when you see an animal in the wild,
Right.
The dad is like, all right, time for you to go figure out how to walk.
Go fly, little nigga.
Time for you to figure out.
Throw him out the nest.
Yeah, go fly, little nigga.
How to be tough.
You either got it or you don't.
Sink or swim kind of situation. And I think the last generation, they completely like disconnected all emotions, right?
Yeah.
At a specific age.
Right.
And they were no longer your emotional guide. So they told you, all right, be tough. Real men don't cry.
Right.
Boys don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wipe your tears out your face.
Right.
You know,
I think that was the timeline though. I think what started with life is tough. We had to deal with rougher situations.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what started, and in between that, we started really suppressing shit.
Yeah.
So
At
now,
that point,
so now
absolutely.
we have this generation of parents who really need fucking therapy,
Yeah.
and that in turn can have effect on the next generation. I
Yeah.
feel like this generation that's coming up now is very open to
In
the
touch.
positives, being very in touch with mental health, because we had 50, 60 years of suppressing shit,
Oh yeah.
and we see the effects of it.
Oh yeah.
So now we're really changing that. So now there's still a lot of people out there who struggle with opening up, but I don't think that's necessarily beforehand. It was because of the stigma. Be tough.
Be tough.
Be tough. But
a
now,
man.
I think it's, if people are choosing not to open up, it might be a trust issue. You know what I'm saying?
It's a trust issue. There's something deep down that they don't want to discuss.
True.
It's both of those things, because
Therapy, like a motherfucker. Yeah, we gonna name that the episode, therapy.
it could be therapy.
Okay.
I found the thumbnail for sure.
Oh, I really like Master Finesser though. That was like my favorite word of the night.
Wait. While we're talking about this,
Alright.
the title before I fucked up was going to be Shark Week.
Last week.
That would have been perfect. That would have been fucking perfect, man. We come back to Shark Week, man. We gonna come back to that topic.
Yeah, we
anyway,
like that.
keep going. Oh, that would have been great.
Fucking forgot what I was about to say.
But anyway,
The narrative of the tough guy.
yeah, the tough guy shit. So do you, outside of us, this circle personally, do you guys feel like you still struggle with anything like that? Or do you feel like you just know the space that you can open up and be vulnerable in?
I'm at the point in my life where if I can't keep it 100 with you, then that's your problem.
Facts.
I'm not, in no way, shape, or form am I ever ignorant to people when I'm keeping it 100.
Right.
So I don't ever feel bad for saying what's on my mind or how I feel or what I'm gonna do or all these other things. I'm respectful with mine, and I'm just being honest.
Right. That makes sense.
Because I would hate for me to say something, do something, and not really mean it.
Yeah.
And I'm very much so. I grew up an emotional kid,
Man.
so as I grew older, I got a little bit of a hold on it.
Yeah.
And I had some situations where it actually had me like tuck it away, and then it was like no emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
bad.
And then
That's
I
scary.
had to deal with the effects of
That.
what happens
Oh
when
my-
you're that guy.
Yo, that's real.
Yeah.
That's a real statement.
Finding the balance, and now I say it. It's like there's no point in me not being myself all the time.
Not at all.
It hurts
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And it makes nobody better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's just how I go about life now.
Right.
Again, not calling myself a perfect human being.
Not at
I
all.
fuck up every single day.
Every day.
Hell, I thought I might have fucked up this audio.
That would have been fucked up. For sure.
Oh man, that's why we got 30-minute increments now.
Right. Well, that's
We ain't got to go over as much.
right. Well, that's good, man. I can say just to keep it even more on a personal note, I think is even though this space opens that provides a lot more room than what we originally had. But I think we've put ourselves in a good space nowadays. Just where we're at nowadays, fam. If you got something going on, there's a fake therapist at every turn that you make. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is,
I missed the calling.
bruh. I still,
You know how many people
Yeah.
I've been a therapist for and not got paid?
fam. To be real with you, I was doing that so much. Yo, check this out. Callback. That's how I was able to identify with the master Vanessa herself with how she was talking about I was helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Like that becomes all right. You get wait. Nah, that's not the look. I wasn't saying that.
No, I know.
Nah, but the look you gave me was just like, oh yeah. Nah, I ain't know that. But just you feel like that's your only purpose. You know what I'm saying? When like you might not be able to figure things out for yourself, but you have a good ear, or you just feel like you're doing good when you're being there for somebody.
Yeah.
Like that is a really good feeling.
There was like a 2-year span of my life where I was just listening.
That's all you did. And then afterwards, you're just like, oh shit, I did something good today. Them off, you know what I mean? They got this stuff off their chest, but it can be very easy to lose yourself in that and find gratification in that, and that it takes away out of any other gratification that you can get for your own progress.
The one thing I will say about when you're playing therapist, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're playing therapist.
Playing therapist.
And I was playing therapist.
Ain't got no clue what the fuck you doing.
When you take on so much of somebody's baggage, that shit is draining.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I was
And, and that's when you get to a point. And I have one friend that when she's gonna like unload her emotional baggage,
She'll check in with you first.
She will blatantly say, "Are you emotionally available for me to dump some bullshit?"
That's a real friend. I think I might have an idea who that is.
Maybe.
It's the number one go to for me personally when it comes to anything with you related. She's just been around for a while.
I don't know what we're talking about.
All right, cool. All right. Anyway, next.
If you can't say it without involving
Yeah. We ain't gonna try to
need
do
to
that,
move on.
But
off microphone.
where the fuck are we going from here? What else?